Flags have been around for centuries and have played an important role in human history. They have been a symbol of unity and identity for thousands of years. But have you ever wondered about the history of flags and how they came to be? Let's take a journey through time and discover the evolution of flags and the role they continue to play in our world. The earliest flags were by ancient civilizations as a means of identification on the battlefield. These banners were often made of cloth or animal hides and were carried by warriors to signify which tribe or kingdom they belonged to. As far back as ancient Egyptians, they used flags adorned with symbols that represented the tribe, city-state, or empire they belonged to. These flags were carried by the military and were used to identify different divisions of the army. In ancient China, flags were used as military standards and were adorned with symbols that represented the different Chinese dynasties. These flags were also used to mark the boundaries of Chinese territories and to identify different divisions of the Chinese army. Ancient Rome also used flags as military standards, and the Roman army had a variety of different flags that were used to identify different units and divisions. These flags were also used to mark the boundaries of Roman territories and to symbolize the power and authority of the Roman Empire. The use of flags can be also traced back to ancient Greece and Mesopotamia. In the Middle Ages, as civilizations grew more complex, flags began to take on more meaning. In medieval Europe, flags bearing heraldic symbols were used to represent noble families and kingdoms. These flags were often used in battle, but also served as a symbol of prestige and authority. During this time, flags were also used as a means of signaling and communication on the battlefield. Lords would use different colored flags to signal different commands to their troops, such as a charge or retreat. In addition to their use in warfare, flags were also used in medieval tournaments as a way to identify different knights and teams. With the age of exploration, flags took on an even greater importance. Ships at sea flew flags bearing the colors of their nation, as a means of identification and as a symbol of sovereignty. These flags were used as a means of claiming new lands for European countries. European explorers hoisted flags on ships and on the land they discovered to claim it for their respective countries. Additionally, flags known as ensigns were flown from the masts of ships and were often adorned with the coat of arms or heraldic symbols of the ship's owner or country. This helped other ships and people on land to identify the ship and its origin. Flags were also used as a means of communication between ships during their voyages. Different colored flags were used to signal different messages or commands between ships. In modern history, we can see a slight change in the use of flags. In the age of revolutions in the late 18th and early 19th centuries, the American Revolution and the French Revolution both saw the use of flags as a symbol of the struggle for freedom and independence. During the 19th and 20th centuries, flags were used to represent the different nations that emerged during this period, such as the United States, Germany, Italy, and Japan. Flags were also used to represent the different ideologies and political movements that emerged during this time, such as fascism and communism. In the World Wars, flags were used as a symbol of national pride and as a rallying point for soldiers and civilians alike. Flags were also used as a symbol of victory, and the raising of a flag on a conquered enemy position was a powerful symbol of military victory. More recently, flags have been used in protests and demonstrations as a symbol of resistance and change. The use of flags in these situations can be a symbol of unity and a rallying point for those who share a common cause. Today, flags are used as a symbol of national identity and unity. They are flown on public buildings, at sporting events, and on special occasions. And while the designs and colors may have changed over time, the meaning behind the flag remains the same, a symbol of a nation and its people. From ancient military standards to modern symbols of national identity, flags have played a significant role in the history of human civilization. So next time you see a flag, remember the history and the journey that it has been through to become the symbol of unity and identity that it is today.